Yeah.
Welcome back to another Bad Thoughts podcast. I am your host, Seth Vincent, aka Symbolic, back up for another podcast episode. So this is episode 9. Good, I didn't throw up 10 like a dumbass. 9. Yep, this is one of the fourth video podcast. So we're doing okay when it comes along with the podcast. So just testing out the mic. Is this good? Yeah, we're good on this. Yeah, so it's another week of podcasts, and there's not much to go. I want to speak about this week. It's been a slow couple weeks. We took a break last week just for 4th of July. 4th of July week just to relax, drink some beers, hopefully hang out with somebody, but I didn't get to hang out with anybody. So, yeah, that'll pass. It has been it's been a depressing couple 2 weeks. Not really depressing in general depressing, but just depressing because, I mean, this is Bad Thoughts podcast. Seth has his bad thoughts. Everyone has their bad thoughts, and we're going to speak about a little bit of those today. Just a couple things that I wanted to talk about today. Not a super long podcast, but we get to talk about some stuff today. Hold on, let me go ahead and I want to screen record the laptop so we can maybe get some stuff up on the screen, see what we're talking about and everything. Actually, I might not do that. Maybe I'll just post up clips of what I looked at and everything. So I'm gonna bring up Yahoo, a couple things on there that were funny, that I wanted to talk about, but other things that I want to talk about besides that stuff today on Yahoo. If you can see, I got a new setup. I got all my fucking shoes stacked over here. Just trying to get a cool setup, maybe because this is in my room. This is not out in the living room anymore. Hopefully get a poster or something up, some artwork. If anyone's got an idea of any artwork, send it to me if you want to. I'm trying to get something up and back so we can make it look pretty good. So hold on one second. I'm going to pull up the internet. I just want to start off with one funny story that I saw this week. If I can find it. I know of it. I don't really have to find it, so it's on there somewhere. But just to start off the podcast with a funny story that I saw on Yahoo News, of a no-armed beggar out in Florida. I hate to call him a beggar, but he did street art and everything with his feet. Arrested for stabbing a tourist with his feet. Oh my God. He stabbed the tourist with a knife, I don't know, with a knife, or maybe he has a scalpel for art or something like that. I don't know, like to cut stuff. But he stabbed the tourist and he was arrested, and I just laughed when I saw that, because when I saw stabbing, I didn't think about how he could stab somebody. I'm just like, how does this work? He got no arms. You say he got no arms. Oh, he got feet. Oh, he has feet. Okay, I did not think about that. So I should have thought about that immediately when it came up. So that was kind of funny. Another story that I saw that I actually wanted to talk about, that actually Sacha Baron Cohen. If you don't know who Sacha Baron Cohen is, he was the guy that did Bruno and The Dictator and what other movies I can't remember. That just weird, wacky guy. If you don't know the movies, you don't know the movies. But demands an apology from Sarah Palin as more victims come forward. I guess he duped Sarah Palin in a movie, in like a sketch or like a prank, pretty much, that he dressed up as a no-legged. Was it a no-legged, or it was just a wounded veteran or something like that, and he got like the attention from her, but he was dressed up and everything, just prank. It was faking. I guess they didn't take that real lightly because it's posing as a veteran and stuff like that. But I can't wait to see what that prank was about. That was pretty fucking funny. Nothing, no other little funny shit that I wanted to talk about first, just lighten the mood a little bit. But there's a couple stories that I wanted to talk about. And yes, I do want to talk about a couple stories. These are things that I see in the news. These are things that are around. These are my opinions on things going on. It's I'm trying to come up with structure when it comes to the podcast a little bit, because moving all around to so many different subjects is kind of exhausting. But as a person of my mind amplitude, I'm not that smart, and I've got opinions on things, but I'm scatterbrained. I'm not passionate about one thing. I'm not passionate about pretty much anything. I'm passionate about just having an opinion about certain things and my belief on stuff, and if it comes to sneakers, if it comes to clothing, if it comes to things going on in the news or kind of funny stuff that I saw. Like, that's what the stuff that I want to speak about, and it's on my mind, and I don't have anyone to talk to about it, so I might as well share it with you viewers. You viewers mean one or two. I don't know how many people are viewing this, but just a couple things that I wanted to talk about. If you guys didn't see this in the news, the stuff going on with the Thailand rescue. If you don't know exactly what was going on, there was a soccer team out in Thailand who, with their coach, so a total of 13 of them, went cave examining, not cave diving, because they're not diving in anything, but just going into a cave. I can't think of the words coming out of my mouth right now. And it ended up raining, and the cave flooded up on them, and they were stuck in there. And they've been in there since June something. I don't even know. All I know is they missed 4th of July. Doesn't fucking matter. They're not from the U.S., so what am I thinking about? And they've been stuck in there for a while, and they just got all 13 of the people out. And they even got Elon Musk. If you don't know who Elon Musk is, he's the creator of Tesla and that Boring company, and he actually wanted to create like a small sized kid submarine to help get him out and everything, but they said it was impractical, it wouldn't work and stuff like that. So he tried to help and everything, but I guess it didn't really help much. And well, it's Elon Musk. I don't know. I mean, I'd want his help if anything. I mean, the dude's fucking wicked smart. He's wicked smart. Mark, he's wicked smart. Whenever I say wicked smart, I want to do it in a Boston accent. Mark, he's wicked smart. He's wicked smart. But Elon Musk is super smart, and he's a genius, and we actually need more people like that. I don't know why we don't have more people like fucking Elon Musk, dude. Like, that's fucking crazy. I don't understand why we don't have more people like Elon Musk. We don't have people like Einstein around anymore, so it's kind of hard to have I mean, it's not really kind of hard. You just don't get them that often. It's not like how it used to be back in the day. But another thing that I wanted to talk about is I see a whole bunch of people complaining about it. Not complaining about it, but some people it's brought up, and it's crazy that one of our newest, the about to be self-made newest youngest billionaires is Kylie Jenner with her makeup stuff or whatever. I can't really speak on what the makeup stuff is. It's like lip. I don't know. It's some kind of makeup, but she's hit 900 net worth, $900 million. I'm just fucking like, where's my time going? Where should I invest in makeup? I don't know. Should I invest? I actually think I have a friend that said he invested in some kind of makeup. I don't know. I think he said he invested into it and he made some good amount of money. So maybe I should invest in makeup. I don't know. Maybe I'll be a millionaire one of these days. But I'm sticking to the podcast right now and my sneakers, and I'm building up credit card debt. So we're gonna stick with that. But just with her being a self-made billionaire, it's crazy. I mean, you go from the Kardashians going famous with the sex tape to the youngest Kardashian Jenner, youngest kid in the family. Well, not youngest kid anymore. They got kids now. But youngest, they're about to be hit a billionaire, and I guess I looked up Kim Kardashian's net worth, and she's around 350 million. So way she's doubled, tripled, um, double, tripled. Yeah, about double, tripled. Her net worth of her sister. So that's fucking crazy that what Kylie done. I don't even know where to even start when it comes to that making that kind of money. I wouldn't even know what to do. I'd be out of this fucking apartment. I know that. I honestly think like I would love to just go get a practical house. Um, somewhere. I mean, I'd love to just move out to LA. I'd do that. I'd get a beach house or something. That would be one of the perfect spots. But I wouldn't party it up because ever since like I partied up like a little at the end of high school and little after high school, that shit's just not in me anymore. Like I barely want to go get drunk. I want a few beers. I'll sip on more than a few beers, but I'm not gonna sit and get drunk and party it up all day. I'm not gonna do drugs and stuff like that either. So like if I had that amount of money, I'd definitely probably build up a fucking sneaker collection, couple cars, maybe have a couple friends come live with me and just relax it up. I mean, I'd probably still go out and get a job or something like that, just like a part-time job or find something. Not like you don't have to get a part-time job. You can, with the money you have, you can invest in anything that you want, and you can start up anything that you want. So you can start up something, create a startup. That's why they call it a startup, Seth, because they start something. But yeah, and you can proceed with that. And I mean, you don't know what you do with $900 million, and a lot of people, some people go crazy with $900 million and lose it all on drugs or on expensive stuff. I mean, I would definitely buy expensive stuff. I like to buy expensive stuff now, even with being broke as shit. Like I even thought about buying a one of the Louis Vuitton Geronimo bags as a shoulder bag just to have it. I kind of want one of those to just wrap around your chest. I even thought about buying a fucking bulletproof vest just to rock a bulletproof vest. Is that weird? Is that weird in my head? Because that's the shit that I want to do and everything. So, excuse me if you don't like it. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to make sure that this video is recording well. Okay. Just have to make sure one of these times because I've had it go off a couple times when I'm recording, and I just don't want to go through the whole fucking podcast knowing that it may have gone off, but I'm still talking over here like an idiot. So, yeah, I don't want to do that shit. That shit pisses me off, and it's not fun because you're putting so much work into it and nothing's coming out of it. So, you can probably see where I'm getting at when it comes to those kind of stuff. Um, no, not really much else I want to talk about when it comes to like stuff going on in the news and everything. I do want to get to where it brings us into the podcast, trying to keep it to where we get the name Bad Thoughts. So I've explained it a couple times, and the people who are just viewing in now, probably no one viewing in now, but it's up to you. But to the people coming in now and not really understanding where I lie and Seth Vincent lies in his head, and this is why we created it. It's a platform to speak about things going on in our lives, and a lot of people who know me know of who I am, and they don't. A lot of people don't like who I am. They try to avoid me, especially just like people from my past, like I've known since high school, and they don't really speak to me anymore because of the things I do, the way I speak my mind, the anger, the sadness, the pain. You can see in my eyes, you can hear my voice, the way I speak about things. It's there, and I wanted to speak about some demons that have been going on again in my head, and we all have demons. I don't trouble with the demons too much. They're not really demons. They're just the voices in your head that speak to you, put you down every second. And these are the things what my voices speak to my head into my head. So like a couple years ago, I obviously I had a bad falling out with a friend who I still haven't been able to reconcile with. And it probably will never. There's not going to be closure from it at all. And it just that stumbles into how I am today, because before that I can always come into friendships and I sort of had trust for people. I can look at them and I can expect trust back, respect and trust back if I gave it to them. And I just don't see that anymore when it comes to anybody. Pretty much. If you've been there before too, and you have way too much of a hard time to trust in people, and it's tough. Like, I don't trust my family members in general either, because my family's all fucked up in their own problems and all stuck in their own problems, and I try to help them out, but I try not to speak about my problems to my families. Most of the people that I know, like friends wise, know more about of what I go through every single day than my family does. So it's when it comes to these my friends and stuff like that, friends that I still have, some friends, I don't know who, I really can't gather up an understanding of who's my friend and who's not. It's no offense to you, I just can't put anyone into in a perspective of who's there for me and who's not. It just kind of comes and goes, and I can't gather up a group of people. So my trusting is not there too much anymore for anybody, and it's hard for me to trust people because you put up that wall because you don't want that pain anymore. It's not really pain, it's looking dumb and being embarrassment. It's looking dumb, looking stupid. People know that feeling. You don't want to put your trust in these people and come out to them really not wanting to hang out with you, only hanging out with you for a certain reason, getting you into trouble, and just being toxic. And it just comes out to an embarrassment to know that they probably were never your friend and they never really wanted anything from you, but something else, like a ride somewhere, or food or snacks or somewhere to go. It's just, that's how it is. They don't want your actual attention, or to be just talk to you and stuff like that, to be with you and hang out and go places and just kind of hang out with their buddy or stuff like that. So that's where my troubling kind of lies when it comes into things nowadays. And that's where my demons lies, is I have hard time trusting people when it comes to that stuff. It's not even, it comes to anything. It comes into play in general. That is, I have hard time trusting anybody. And I know I've had a friend on Facebook say, like, if you keep doing this, you're just gonna keep digging yourself a grave, and I understand that. There's no therapy that can help somebody like me or like you when it comes to these things. And it's not like therapy won't help. Therapy does help people. Certain ways, therapy why I don't go to it, because I already know where my problems lie. It's just where I choose to change the fears and the problems. It's just like, do I want to change them? And in a general, no, I don't have that motivation or strength to do that. And a therapist isn't going to give me that motivation and strength. Something in life is going to. Life's going to play a factor in it. Something like this, talking about it in my own way, it can be a factor when it comes to these kind of things. So it's, I don't know, it's just troubling. And then it comes into like I want to talk about, like, it kind of comes into play with this. I'll steer off for a second. I've been watching a show on Hulu called Lucifer. And yeah, that sounds bad already. No, it's a good show. It's a good show. You could probably go check it out. So it's about Lucifer the devil owns a nightclub. Lux is the name of the nightclub out in Los Angeles, and he's just living it up as an celestial. I almost said ancestral. That sounds terrible. Celestial being on the earth, doing whatever he wants, being the devil. What do you desire? Kind of stuff. Granting favors, making sure that favor is brought in return. It's cool. And then he meets a detective, and they start solving crimes together. It's actually a really great show. So if you want to check it out, go check it out on Hulu. Or I bought like the third season off YouTube. So if you want to buy it off YouTube, go off YouTube if needed. But it just, there's a lot of biblical things going on in it, and it has been sparking my mind when it comes to religion, God, and the devil, and everything. And a good point in the show is that evil isn't. They point at the devil isn't actually evil. He himself, of course, is a fallen angel, and he himself is not evil, but he is damned to punish the guilty for the rest of eternity. So he himself is not evil, but he punishes people who are evil. So it kind of puts things in this perspective, is that I'm in my head sometimes I feel like I'm evil, and you want to build off that evil, and you want to walk around with this fucking grin and smile, and just want to be like fucking scare people. Like, that's sometimes in my head. I'm not my person, and you may consider it like the demons in your head, but I don't consider it as so much evil, just a place of guilt where your mind is. And I have a lot of guilt in my head about things I've done, and just proceeding with life with that guilt is kind of hard. So it's not technically like even the devil isn't evil, but he can be something more. And that's kind of been put in my head into a different perspective. It's hard to get a perspective. Myself have never been able to put anything in perspective, priority straight or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to build off of something to build another perspective on life. And that kind of steered. I wanted to bring up that show because it steered into the kind of things that I've been thinking about, and the trying to get over fear, because I have a lot of fears in life that I haven't actually proceeded with. I mean, most of you guys that know me see I've had like one girlfriend ever, and it's not like I'm not fucking gay, people. My sister said that one time. She's like, Seth, it's okay if you're gay. I'm like, I'm not fucking gay. It's no offense to you if you're gay, right on with you, but I'm not fucking gay. It's just the motivation and fear comes into play, especially with nowadays with this Me Too movement. Like, you don't even want to hit on a woman because they might think you're being sexual harassing to them. Oh, and that brings up to what else I wanted to talk about, that Henry Cavill, that actor who said he's a good-looking dude. Like, he's the guy that played Superman. And he's single, and he's too afraid to even date because of the Me Too movement and being accused of sexual harassment. And people went at him like, oh, he's too scared that he may accidentally rape somebody. He's not talking about accidentally raping person. There's a clear line between no and it's rape and don't do it kind of stuff. There's a fine line there, and you should know that line. But it's coming into being too overly hitting on a girl, and she's obviously just like, instead of walking away and just, oh, this perv, she's gonna not really like, oh, this perv, like, oh, this dude, like, just get away from me, I don't feel like getting hit on. She's gonna accuse it as sexual harassment and be like, call the police, he's being sexual harassing to me. And that's where I see where he comes into play, because that has happened before. And it's not like women don't fear for themselves. They should, because there's a lot more bigger society that's obviously come out with Hollywood and producers with their casting couches and stuff like that. Rape is a culture, and it's a bad thing to do, and it happens, and it's become more and more into play nowadays with just crazy ass fucking guys thinking they can get away with shit like that. And I see where women have trouble with nowadays too, but I see where men have trouble nowadays too. And that's kind of like what I wanted to speak about when it comes to like fear of women. And that's not where my fear always really lies, but I mean, I'm also afraid of rejection. Who isn't? Like, you don't want to go up to someone, and especially, it's not like I'm not attracted to any, like, all these pretty women. But it's different when it comes into play for me nowadays. It's not like high school, like that girl's hot, that girl's hot. Like, I see beautiful women, but I don't feel the need to go up and hit on them. Like, there's no need for that at all. If you catch where I'm coming from at all. There's that one beautiful girl that you see from across a bar or something like that, or a meeting at a friend's house, that really catches your attention, and that's where the fear of rejection comes into play, because you immediately are really attracted to them. And I've gotten like this. I have a few girls that I've met within the couple years, that, like, two, maybe one, I don't know. I've got one on my head right now, that they're a strange. They're not strange. They're just charismatic and different. And it's just a different kind of, the different person than all the others, and they kind of hit you in a different way, and that you want to be with that person. But that's when the fear of rejection comes into play. It's like, you want to, like, your demons are telling you don't do it, or don't do it, they're not going to want you, stuff like that. And your fear of rejection comes into play, and you just don't go up to them. And I understand, I don't ever go up to them. I don't ever proceed with it. I don't ever do it. And because my idea of love is love at first sight, I'd see this woman and I would be overstruck with affection, that I wouldn't care. I will go up to her and introduce myself and everything like that. But that's never ever come into play, and that's not going to come into play now. But that fear of rejection comes into play at some point in our lives. And where I'm heading with this in a point is just like, don't be like me when it comes to the summer and you got people to hang out with and people to love. You go out. Oh, got someone texting me. They shouldn't be texting me on my phone. I hope not. Texting me on my fucking laptop. Mix the words up. But let's get back to just ending the podcast on a good note. Just to have a good time. If you like that girl, go up to her. Say something if you want to. I can't promise I'm going to go up to him, but you guys may have more motivation and more better self-esteem and confidence to be able to do it. And go out and have a good time. This is Bad Thoughts Podcast. Your host, Seth Vincent, a.k.a. Symbolic, which I'm thinking about getting tattooed on me here soon enough. Let me know if you'd like me to get some tattoos, because I've been thinking about getting some tattoos. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to do it. I'm too afraid to go in and ask about it. So, but peace out, everybody. Have a good night. We're out of here. Bad Thoughts Podcast. Have a good one. Peace out, everybody.
Yo, I said I'm one too many drinks away from letting it fly. From texting up my baby girl and starting to fight. From my mama being pissed, I put it all on the line to find that I just got the boot and now I'm left out to dry. I'm still hungry. Can't have